Philip, just tell me more about this extraordinary story.
Well, I think the word is extraordinary. When I first heard this morning, I really couldn't believe it, because we're not talking about any old cyber bully. We're talking about people like you and me, Annette, people in the profession of journalism. These are all people with respectable jobs in the profession. This was a Facebook group that was created in 2009 called the League of LOL. LOL is the internet term for laughing out loud, which started off as a friendly group of people who met on Twitter and created this Facebook page. And then it took a rather nasty turn where they started attacking some of their female friends in the profession with misogynistic announcements and terms and insults, and it went right downhill with some of the people who were being targeted saying that they even changed jobs or were at some points even committing suicide because they couldn't put up with this barrage of insults coming their way, which went from bad to worse. So this has been uncovered by, as you said, the French newspaper Libération with one of their internal checks last Friday. They've suspended the journalists involved, two journalists with their newspaper. But there are people in other walks of life. You've got a public relations officer, you've got a graphic designer, people in media education. There's another journalist from the French newspaper Les Incorruptibles, who was their online editor, as well as the one at Libération, who's also been suspended pending an inquiry. So it is quite a widespread group of people. Now, that site no longer exists, so in theory that cyberbullying from them has come to an end, but this has widened the scope as to what this actually means as far as cyberbullying in general is concerned. And I think the authorities have been slow to react, to be quite honest, about how they should take on this new form of internet bullying.
With that in mind, where does French law currently stand?
Well, that's just the problem, because laws take longer to draw up than the speed at which the internet and social media has developed over the last few years. So the original law, which was pushed through in 2014, said that people who were being bullied repeatedly by the same person could take them to court. Then that law was changed in 2018, just last year, so that if one person was a target of a group of bullies who were bullying that person for the same reason, then they could go to court even if they'd only sent one insulting message. Now the problem seems to be that if you take into account what happened with the League of LOL, this all started back in 2009, and a lot of it sort of came to an end in 2013, and all of those offences committed up until 2013 are now no longer able to be followed by a court case, for example, because there's a 6-year limit in France over how long you can take someone to court. So now the French government has said, and even Macron himself, the French president, has said that he would like to change the law so as to make it more adapted to this kind of unacceptable behaviour. And one of the French ministers in charge of judicial affairs has said that she's already investigating how that law might be increased from 6 years to 10 years. But we're still quite a long way off that actually happening.